Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter's Movie Reviews. I cannot believe that I am doing my second Christmas movie review of the year. I was planning to wait until like December 1st and then I was going to do 25 days of Christmas and I was going to review all Christmas movies over here. But this weekend I saw that this new Christmas movie came out on Netflix. It came out last week and it was like trending. It's falling quickly. I will say that. It's falling quickly. It was trending at #1 on Netflix on movies for the week in the US. And then it went to 3rd, and now I think it's like 6th or something like that. And that movie, I don't even know how to do this review, you guys. That movie is A Merry Little Xmas, and it is a 2025 rom-com airing right now on Netflix, starring Alicia Silverstone, Pearson Fode. I've never heard that person before, but he plays Chet in the show. Oliver Hudson and Jamila Jamil. And I love Alicia Silverstone from the Clueless days. I love Oliver Hudson. I think he is, oh my God, Hubba Hubba, Goldie Hawn's son. I love him so much. And Kate Hudson's brother. I also love Jamila Jamil. I don't know how to pronounce her name. She was a host on Legendary, the drag ballroom show that was on HBO Max. I love that. But The Good Place, if you've never seen The Good Place, it is like one of my favorite shows of life, and she was fantastic in it. So I watched this movie last night. I was like, let's bring in a little Christmas. Let's bring in. Anyway, I was like, let's watch a Christmas movie. Okay. So I'm going to start this series this week where I watch movies that I've never seen before. Like I have seen probably, I thought I had seen it all the way through, but I was like reading some things about The Notebook and I was like, I never watched it all the way through. So I'm going to watch The Notebook for the very first time all the way through ever. The Princess Diaries, Labyrinth. I've got some other things I'm going to watch. So if you have movies to recommend that are like your all-time favorite movies, put it in the comment section below. If I've never seen it, I will watch it. Okay. So let me give you a little synopsis of this movie. All Kate and Everett want for Christmas is an amicable divorce and one last holiday as a family, but new flames and old feelings complicate their plans. Okay, so what it's about is, it is about this couple, okay? And Kate is played by Alicia Silverstone. Is it Alicia? It's Alicia, right? Alicia Silverstone, and Oliver Hudson plays Everett. And he's a doctor, and she wanted to be like this environmental architect or something like that. And so after she goes home with them to this small town called Winter Lights in Vermont, it's real cute and Christmassy, okay? Now, I have to be honest with you. I love Christmas movies. Smoky Mountain Christmas with Dolly Parton is probably my favorite Christmas movie of life, okay? Now, I also love, and that's a made-for-TV movie, okay, from 1984. So let's just keep it in check. I can do the cheesy, okay? I can do the cheesy, I can do the corny. I love all that, all right? I can even do the predictable. One of my other favorite movies that I'm going to be watching this year and reviewing is The Holdovers, which was an Oscar winner. I loved The Holdovers. I thought it was a fantastic Christmas movie. I love the soundtrack from it. Unbelievable, okay? But when it's cheesy, it's predictable, and it's just, I don't know. There's something about it to me. Now, I have to tell you, there's a couple movies that have come out on Netflix that I absolutely loved, the Christmas movies. I don't really know how to do this review because I feel like if I say it's cheesy, people will say, well, Christmas movies are cheesy. If I say it's corny, I feel like people will say, well, Christmas movies are corny. If I say it's predictable, people will say, most Christmas movies are predictable. I know all that, okay? This was not good. This was not a movie that I would recommend to people. In fact, like halfway through the movie, I had my AirPods in while I was watching it on the chair downstairs. The dogs were asleep next to me. Halfway through it, I went in the kitchen to make a cup of coffee. As I was making a cup of coffee, I started trimming the wicks on the candles. Then I started like multi-purpose cleaning the counters, okay? Then I started a load of dishes while I'm listening to it. It got real boring in the middle of it, okay? I just was kind of like, this is so stupid. The town is cute. I think the storyline's okay. Literally, it was so predictable. I knew it was going to happen. Okay, so I'm not going to spoil it for you at the beginning. I'm going to spoil it for you at the end, okay? So I'll tell you when I'm going to start spoiling it. All Kate and Everett want for Christmas is an amicable divorce, and one last Christmas as a family, but new flames and old feelings complicate their plans. Okay, so it's about this couple. This is the non-spoiler part. It's about this couple named Kate and Everett. Okay, they call each other Betty and Al, and it's all from that Paul Simon song that I love so much. You can call me Betty, and Betty, you can call me Al. You remember that song? You can call me Al. You remember that song? I thought that was cute. I did like that part of it. Okay. So they moved back to his hometown of White Lights, Vermont. It's a beautiful town. So that he can be the town doctor. But then she gives up her dream of working for this place, okay? That is going to be like environmental architecture or something like that. So she gives up her dream job to move to town. Then she ends up becoming a wife. Her doctor husband's always working long hours at his job and stuff like that. I mean, anybody, any partner of a doctor could tell you that. My mom used to say that. My parents have been divorced for 20 years. My mom would go, oh my God, I can remember. My dad's a retired surgeon. And she would say, I can remember your dad. He wouldn't, like he'd work 15-hour days and blah, 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 whatever. I mean, you could tell any doctor, spouse, or family that, right? My dad one time said to me, he goes, I would have done you better service being, like a plumber where I work 9 to 5. Plumbers don't work 9 to 5. But he was, example. Anyway, he said because I was never like, home at regular hours. He always left at like 4:30 in the morning and came home at like 8 at night. Anyway, we did find out though years later that my dad had another family that lived on a street over, and he was married to this other woman as well, and then they had 3 kids. Oh no, that's a Lifetime movie. That's not my dad. No, that's not true about my dad. Oh my God, my haters are going crazy. They're like looking it up right now. That's not true. I don't think it is. I mean, I didn't know my grandma had gone to prison, and then I found that out after my mom passed away. Maybe my dad does have family somewhere out there. Anyway. Oh, by the way, this movie they love the gays. Okay, they wanted to let you know that. Because Oliver's dads, he has 2 dads, and they're a couple. And so, like, they had him, and it was real hard in a small town in Vermont to raise a gay kid. It's like the most liberal, hippie town that they live in, okay? So, anyway, but I did kind of love that. So, all these years later now, their son Gabe, he's graduating from high school, their daughter's in college, and they decide they're going to get divorced because she wants to move back and get this architecture job. She's tired. She's like an odd job woman. She like fixes stuff in this town, okay? Got like solar panels. She's real environmentalist. She believes in like the environment and things like that, okay? I think she's vegan too. They talk about that just a little bit in there. But anyway, so the movie starts and they're at like this coffee shop, and they're signing like paperwork to get divorced, but it's not going to go final until Christmas Day. Okay, because of course, divorce lawyers are working on Christmas Day. Okay, but anyway, she gets the paperwork on Christmas Day. But anyway, so then they're in this coffee shop, and they're not calling it a divorce. They're calling it a conscious uncoupling, okay? But then their kids are coming home. Well, their son lives there because he goes to high school. And they've been separated for 9 months, but the dad already owns a house down the street. This like $500,000, probably $1 million house. I mean, it's a gorgeous house. He owns that already halfway down the street. And then the divorce hasn't even been finalized yet. And he's dating basically the supermodel played by Jamila Jamil. So anyway, I know, Christmas movie. So anyway, oh my God, and Melissa Joan Hart plays Alicia Silverstone's best friend. She's also the executive producer on it. And I love Melissa Joan Hart so much. I just watched her in a Lifetime movie where her daughter wouldn't make the dance team, and then she tries to kill the girls. Did you guys, the Texas cheerleading, oh my God, that scandal. That was the one that was that what it was called? And she's like peeking through the bleachers and stuff like that. Oh my God. Is Melissa, this is when you know you're old, okay? When the people that you loved when you were growing up, like Melissa Joan Hart, Alicia Silverstone, who's the other ones? Kelly Martin, they've all become, well, Kelly Martin was 20 years ago, the Lifetime movie queen. But when all these people are like the queens of Lifetime movies now and stuff like that, you know you're getting old, okay? So anyway, but the daughter's coming home. They're going to do everything, all their Christmas traditions that they've always done, okay? So it's just a conscious uncoupling. They still love each other. They still want to be best. This shit don't ever work, okay? Like this listen, it just don't work, okay? I could tell you a story, but I'll share it for my vlog, okay? I've told it on my vlog a bunch of times. This kind of shit don't work, okay? Trust me, I lived through it the first year my parents were separated. It just don't work. So anyway, that's the start of the story. Now you just know disaster is going to happen. Now, if you don't want to hear the spoilers, okay, then stop right now and go watch the movie, because here's where the spoilers start. All right, so they do this conscious uncoupling. They're going to spend all the Christmas traditions together. Her daughter comes home from college, and she brings her boyfriend, Nigel, who's from England, and he's obsessed with Harry Potter, okay? Like, wears Harry Potter clothes, talks about Harry Potter quotes. It's too much, okay? It's too much. It's gag-a-maggot. I couldn't stand it. He's a real sweet guy, though. So anyway, Then they like let it slip at dinner that the dad is now dating this woman. And so the friend looks her up online and she is like this older lady that carves like butter statues, but it's not really her. So then they go to the hardware store because the mom needs to get her perfume that she buys at the hardware store. And so, because the two dads own like the general hardware store or something like that. And then she runs into Everett and he's like in the back. He's like, kiss me, to Jamila Jamil. Okay. And she's like, you don't carve butter. And she's like, no, I'm like a supermodel and I own 5 companies and I'm gorgeous and all this kind of stuff, right? So then basically the movie is them trying to do things together, but then like she takes the son and daughter and the daughter's boyfriend to this Christmas tree farm, and she meets this guy named Chet, okay? And Chet is like younger, good looking. I didn't think he was really that good looking. He had a nice body, but the hair was stringy and kind of long and stuff like that. And he wears a lot of hats. He even has a card that says, I wear a lot of hats on it. He does wear a lot of hats in the movie. Okay, but he's like a Christmas tree farm person. He dresses up as Santa. He's like an odd job guy. He drives like a pickup truck, and he's also an exotic dancer. I love that word, exotic dancer. Back in the day, all my roommates were strippers. I mean, no, like, I lived with a lot of strippers back in the day. They didn't ever call themselves exotic dancers. They called themselves strippers. Dancers, sometimes they call themselves, but mostly just strippers. Anyway, but he's a stripper too. So then she, like, brings him, like, on this, like, sledding date to, like, make Everett, Oliver Hudson, jealous. And so now it's Alicia Silverstone with this young, good-looking guy, and Oliver Hudson, her ex-husband almost, with Jamila Jamil, this gorgeous woman, right? And so it's like them coupling together, consciously coupling against each other. And then it's like all the Christmas traditions and all this kind of stuff. But you can tell they still, I knew, like when I started watching this movie, well, when Chet entered the picture, I was like, okay, here's what's going to happen. Everett and Kate are going to end up getting together on Christmas Eve, because one of the traditions is they read the scrapbook. The scrapbook's going to bring them together. It's going to remind them of all the memories. There's going to be some huge fight. Jamila Jamil's going to leave. She don't want to be there anymore. She's going to couple up with the stripper Chet, and then they're going to fall back in love again, and then they're going to live happily ever after in this small town. I knew, and that's what happens. That's the movie for you right there, okay? I mean, it's pretty, and they have a blizzard on Christmas Eve, and then Jamila Jamil is trying to, like, pull her suitcase, like, through the streets, and then Chet pulls up, and he gives her a ride to New York, and then they get tickets for Beauty and the Beast or something, I don't know. But you just hear about that, because like he called to check in with Alicia Silverstone to see if her hats were okay. And then they exchange presents twice. Okay, they get a lot of Christmas presents. They exchange presents on Christmas Eve and on Christmas Day. And this is where he really fucked up, Everett. Okay, he could have still been with Jamila Jamil, but you want him to be with Kate. You want him to be with his wife, okay? Because it's a romance. It's a Christmas romantical. So you want him to be with his wife, right? Like, don't be stupid. So anyway, I mean, it's Alicia Silverstone, duh. So anyway, you know what I mean? But anyway, and he's not like going to move from a small town, and this woman has a breakdown. She's like, what am I doing in this small town? Like, I thought I was like in a Hallmark movie, and this is bullshit. I got to get out of here and back to New York, and I have a flat in London, and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, so he buys his ex-wife, Kate, he buys her the perfume, but she's like, how did you get the perfume? He's like, I've been smelling it for 30 years. Of course I would know your perfume. And she's like, oh, Everett. And he's like, okay. And then they like lean together. But then Jamila Jamil hasn't had her present yet. And so she gets her Christmas present, and it's AirPods. I know. It was AirPods. And then even the gay dads are like, ooh. And then Jamila Jamil gives Kate a present, and Kate made her like a homemade hat. I thought it was real sweet. I actually kind of liked it. But then she gives her a pair of Stella McCartney heels. And I was like, ooh, girl. And I said, ooh. And then the two gay dads in the background, they go, ooh. And then Jamila Jamil, though, look, I got another fan that says shade on it. She got real shady. She goes, do you know who she is? Girl, Stella McCartney. Come on now. Come on now. Listen, she might live in Winter Lights, but she knows a good Stella McCartney pair of shoes when she sees them. You know what I'm saying, girl? So anyway, and that's when Kate should have been like, bitch, get out of my house, okay, right now. Get out of my house. Get back to London. You ain't stealing my husband from me. Yes, I know who Stella McCartney is, okay? And not off the rack either. So anyway, but then she realizes, Jamila Jamil, she realizes, I can't remember what her name is in the movie, but anyway, June or something like that. But she realizes, Tina, I can't remember. The daughter's name is Sheena Shea. No, that's Vanderpump Rules. The daughter's name is Sierra. It's some Bravo show. And the son's name is Gabe, and he wants to be a firefighter, okay? And then the boyfriend, all he wants is, and Jamila Jamil buys it for him, is this fire thing. It's like, I wanted one. It's like, that's the only thing from the movie that I really liked, was like this little pot. It's like a cauldron, and you can like turn it off and on. Well, Kate buys him another one because she decides she likes the boyfriend, the daughter's boyfriend. Not like him like that, but she likes, like, approves of it. And so she's always baking too, scones and things like that. I wouldn't know how to make a scone if I had to. If it was like, listen, scone or you're dead, I'd be like, I guess I'm dead, bye, because I don't know how to fucking make a scone. Woo, cost $1 million up in here. But anyway, so then that sets off, so then Chet, he's kind of dumb. He's kind of, you know, not real smart. So he's like hitting these car keys, and it sets off the thing, and then the tree catches on fire, and then he rips off all of his clothes, because he's like a stripper. He's got his tux on, right? I know it's not making any sense, but anyway, it didn't really make sense in the movie either. And then he's like, the clothes are fireproof, so he's trying to put out the fire, and then the sun comes out. Anyway, in the end, they decide they don't want to get divorced and they love each other. And then it's a year later, and she started her own environmental co-op in town, and he doesn't work as much. And their son's a firefighter, and they're just in love because it's Christmas. Who wouldn't love that? I wouldn't recommend this movie. I'm just going to tell you right now, like, there are so many made-for-TV movies out there, and so many really good ones. That Lindsay Lohan one that was on Netflix where she falls in the snow, I really liked that one. I thought that one was good. From a year or two ago. Single All the Way with the gays, where they go home and the mom's name is Christmas Carol. I love that one so much. Oh my God, with Jennifer Coolidge. I love that movie so much. This one was a hard pass for me, okay? I mean, I watched it. There were some cute parts in it. If you want to just have a Christmas movie on in the background, I mean, why not Frosty? But like this was, oh my God, Hot Frosty. That was even better. Do you remember that one last year? That was even better than this. With Lacey, was it with Lacey Chabert or Jennifer Love Hewitt? No, it was with Lacey Chabert. But that one was even better than this one. About the snowman that came to life, and then he came to live with her, and then he was like, I'm hot, I'm cold, I'm hot, I'm cold. And it was Ted from Schitt's Creek. I might have to watch that one again and review it. Should I review it for this year? Yeah, this was a waste of a review. Don't watch this movie. It's stupid. But Alicia Silverstone still looks good. Jamila Jamil, whew, she looks so good. But anyway, be gay and don't throw shade. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.